The Green Party, quite frankly, they're not the party of the middle-class greenies. They're the party of the extreme Islamo-left. I'm afraid that's, got to say it how it is, that's exactly what they are, what they have morphed into. No longer is it the penchant for the middle-class guilt, which says that we need to save our planet, we need to protect our environment, stop doing what you're doing to our waters. Now, it's actually a focus, absolutely, with total crystal clarity, on the likes of Gaza, on the likes of Iran, on you name it, any Muslim country around the world. They care more deeply about that than they do, I'm afraid, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. And I think this proves it pretty damn well.
Britain's population could rise by 4.4 million over the next 5 years under a Green Party government, according to a new report. Analysis from investment bank Panmure Liberum suggests the party's approach could push net migration to around 900,000 a year, taking the UK population from 71.5 million in 2029 to 75.9 million by 2034.
That's extraordinary. It's an extraordinary number. But as my good friend Matt Goodwin has so eloquently put, these right here are the stats from the Conservative government, right? You've got the Brexit vote there in 2016, which you can see. But then from 2020 onwards, Boris Johnson, of course, being elected in 2019, 2020 onwards, you've got the Boris wave of it's 1 million people that came in one single year. So we're saying the Greens are extreme for 900,000 a year. The Tories went higher than that in one single year. That was the infamous Boris wave, which will all receive indefinite right to remain. They'll be on your books. And by the way, most of the people that came under the Boris wave, they don't work. They're on benefits. They came as dependents. Whatever else. They'll be reliant upon you, sucking on the teat of the taxpayer for the rest of their lives. That's what Boris Johnson's Conservative government did to our country. Many of them, by the way, people that don't share our views, values and culture. It is an utter betrayal and a damn disgrace. And I say that as someone who campaigned for Boris Johnson in 2019. What a fool I was. Maybe I'm not the fool. Maybe actually the fool is Boris Johnson for thinking that he could get away with it and that we would all just give a collective shrug of the shoulders. And Priti Patel, by the way, unfollowed me on X. And I greet that with a shrug of the shoulders as well, because I think she knows. I think she knows deep down what a great deal of culpability she has in everything that's going on in our country right now, after being the Home Secretary responsible for that spike there, that wave. So their immigration policies were as extreme as the Greens. But my friends, the Greens, the plot thickens. The plot absolutely thickens. Because this was Zak Polanski in 2016. And I want you to listen to what he says about Israel, what he says about his own views on the state of Israel and its right to exist, and how he was pandering to votes from the Jewish community when he thought it was politically expedient as a Liberal Democrat.
I'm also on the Assembly list. 3 votes on May 5th. If you could vote, if you think I've said anything vaguely sensible tonight and you'd like to support a Jewish Assembly candidate, that would be a support for liberalism and a support for Israel. Thank you.
So if you didn't hear that, support for Israel, support for actually the Jewish cohort, the Jewish diaspora within London, and a vote to actually give a Jewish man a voice within the London Assembly. You fast forward to today, and he is, of course, the biggest critic of the state of Israel. He is, of course, the biggest supporter and defender of those flying Iranian flags on the streets of London, those week in, week out, flying Palestinian flags in London, those week in, week out, supporting Hamas, supporting Hezbollah, supporting Palestine Action, which was prescribed as a terrorist group. This is the Green Party under Zak, the tit whisperer, Polanski. I said to him, listen, mate, I might defect to the Green Party as long as it's not just breasts that you can do. Can you do any other parts of the human anatomy? And I think people thought I was being serious. I absolutely wasn't, because this is what the level of extreme, I think, hard left politics that has actually aligned itself. This is the Green Party's campaign in Haringey in London. This is their campaign for councils to actually have people vote for them. This ought to tell you all you need to know about modern Britain. Have a listen.
Voting
Green
in Haringey local
Elections
on
May 7th
is a vote
against
genocide.
as a councillor,
I will take
all appropriate steps to
uphold the inalienable rights
of the Palestinian people
support efforts to prevent
and ensure accountability for
Israel's crimes of
genocide,
military occupation,
ethnic cleansing
And apartheid.
Ensure my council is not complicit in
and does not help to normalise
Israel's violations of international law.
including through the council
divesting pensions,
and any other funds
It administers from
complicit companies,
and through its procurement policies,
this
may
let's
turn
Haringey
green.
So you notice then, there's not a single mention of the actual climate emergency that they preach so loftily about. Any mention about your bin collections. There isn't any mention of what they'll do for your council tax, which, by the way, they would hike to the maximum amount of that, I've got no doubt. I lived in Brighton for a time, actually, when they wouldn't even collect the bloody bins. That's how competent they are. They're worse now, though. They are seeking the 4 million Muslim votes of this country. They don't care about places like Haringey. They don't care about Newcastle. They care about Gaza. They care about Iran. They care about all of these pet projects of, to be perfectly frank, the Arab world. They have no relevance in our country, no relevance whatsoever. And this is a local election campaign. I can tell you, as a democratically elected councillor myself, that this has absolutely not one iota to do with the management of a local authority. Your bins being collected, your council tax, your shrubbery and greenery, the protection of from fly tipping and all those other things. But Gaza, Iran, bombs, Israel, Muslims versus Jews? This has absolutely nothing to do with running a local council. And they say to us, there is no religious sectarianism in the United Kingdom. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is what the Greens put out to try and pander for those 4 million votes? Pull the other one. And it gets worse, my friends. It gets worse. Because on the other side of the coin, and I show you this because I want you to think, how can the Green Party marry these two things? They've got the pandering to the core Muslim vote, and then they also have the pandering to the trans lobby as well, and they want to bring in self-ID, the right for men to say that they are women, and waltz in to single spaces. And this is one of the lovely young ladies standing for the Green Party.
Hi, I'm Brooke Bennett, one of the Green Party council candidates for Priory Vale. I've been living in Swindon now for 10 years, and I'm looking to stand at Swindon Borough Council and Hayden Wick Parish Council.
I'm a volunteer and community organiser. I care about my local community, and I think that'll make me a great councillor.
I've previously worked on IT systems, which has given me people and project skills which I can bring to Swindon Borough Council. So vote for me on the 7th of May for a cleaner, fairer Swindon.
So you see, Brooke there is talking there about local politics, actual things that matter to people, cleaner streets, tidier establishments. That's good use, I think, of a local councillor's time. But that's the kind of candidate, right, that the trans phenomena and indeed the Muslim vote merging into one. And eventually it happened in Iran, where the radical left got into bed with the theocratic Islamists. And what happened? the Islamists ended up taking out the radical left as soon as they got into power. I'm sorry to say, I don't see this relationship ending in a really quite conducive, positive way at all.